Happy Thursday, family. Welcome into another episode of 2911, a faith experience. I'm Brian Christopher Clay. I'm glad you're here. We're together every Thursday, 12 noon Eastern, so tell friends, tell neighbors, share, like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. I enjoy bringing you music and a message on digital platforms so we can all just be better in the world and, do good for the world. All right, so let's get to it. It's 2911.
All this pain, I wonder if I'll ever find my way. I wonder if my life could really change at all. All this earth, could all that is lost ever be found? Could a garden come up from this ground at all? You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of us. All around, hope is springing up from this old ground. Out of chaos, life can be found in you. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of us. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of us. Beautiful things. You make me new. You are making me new. You make me new. You are making me new. You make me new. You are making me new.
Yes, indeed. Hey, again, welcome to 2911. I'm Brian Christopher Clay. Let's go ahead and get started. In the book of Acts, the 19th chapter, it says, "And God was doing extraordinary miracles by the hands of Paul." By the hands of Paul. So I've got a story for you. It's a true story, and I watched it on a documentary. Watched a documentary about this. You may remember this story from the summer of 2018. 13 soccer players, teenagers, along with their coach, journeyed into a cave in Thailand and they had only intended to be inside the cave for an hour or so, to maybe a couple hours, to adventure around a bit, something that they did pretty regularly, just a social outing, kind of a hangout thing. And they would ride their bikes to this cave entrance, park their bikes there, and journey in, explore for a while, but this time was a little different for them. First, there had been a significant amount of rain in recent days in their town, and after they journeyed inside, the rain started again. And I mean a lot of rain, monsoon level rain. So much rain that in addition to the rain that had already fallen, the ground was so saturated that the terrain could not absorb it all. There was nowhere for the rain to go but into the cave. This particular rainstorm, this monsoon, flooded the cave entrance and flooded areas inside the cave. When the families of these young boys found the team's bikes and their gear all lined up outside the cave, they knew what happened, and they immediately went to work to accomplish what was going to be nearly impossible. They had to save their boys. And they didn't want to just see how many they could save. They wanted to save all their boys. Now, given the circumstances, it was going to have to be a miracle. It was going to have to be. Here's some detail about this whole thing. Incredible. If you get a chance to watch this documentary, you should. The group of boys was trapped underground in this cave for nearly 3 weeks from start to finish. Master divers and Navy SEALs from all over the world went to Thailand to be a part of this rescue operation as the world watched. Now, each boy had to be sedated and an oxygen mask placed over their face. And then they were tethered to 2 divers, one in the front and one behind, to attempt to be taken out. Some of the boys didn't even know how to swim or dive. So divers went in and taught them in the murky waters of the cave where they were trapped some basic swimming and diving. Some of the narrow flooded passages of the cave were only 2 feet wide, like this. Sometimes nearly a half-mile long, 2 feet wide, and they're traveling through. The round trip rescue mission for each boy was 5 miles. One of the rescuers, his name was Vern Unsworth, he said just to get any of them out alive would have been a miracle. But to get all 13 probably could not happen. He concluded by simply stating, this is the biggest miracle ever. Miracle. Miracle. Let me define miracle for you. Miracle is defined as a surprising or welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency. The work of a divine agency. Sounds like they're saying the work of God, right? Yeah. But here's something that we all do. We all assume that God does miracles, right? It doesn't necessarily involve human effort in the making of a miracle. It's God who does it. One of the other men instrumental in rescuing the soccer team, a gentleman named Richard Stanton. Richard Stanton is known as one of the world's absolute best at what he does. He's been called one of the world's most accomplished cave divers. He's the face of British cave diving, the best cave diver in Europe, formerly a firefighter, and he played a leading role in the rescue. Richard Stanton is amazing at what he does. At a press conference, when reporters asked Richard about the diving team and called them heroes, here's what he said. Are we heroes? No. We're just using a very unique skill set, which we normally use for our own interests. But sometimes we're able to use that and give something back to the world. Sometimes we find ourselves waiting to see God work, to watch God do a miracle. We want to watch God's power on full display. We want to see God invade the world and set aside the laws of nature, because that's exciting and incredible. But if you know anything about God, you know this. God flips everything upside down, doesn't he? He doesn't do the things the way we would do things. God's ways aren't our ways. God is God. And he uses the natural to accomplish the supernatural. Yeah. God uses us in all our humanness and all our human failings to do superhuman things for the good of the world. We have the capacity through him. And the proof is in Scripture. Here, I got a couple of them for you here. John, the 14th chapter. Truly, truly, I say to you, whoever believes in me will also do the works that I do. And greater works than these will he do, because I am going to the Father. Acts 19:11. I shared this with you at the beginning of the episode. And God was doing extraordinary miracles by the hands of Paul. And more and more and more are described in the book of Acts. The acts, the actions of the apostles. And let me say this. You can be good at what you do without doing good through what you do. Okay, I don't want you to miss that. I'm going to say that one again. You can be good at what you do without doing good through what you do. So here is our charge: to use the gifts that God has given us, the gifts that God has poured into us, and use them for the good of the world. It's plain in Scripture, 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Or the Message translation, which I love so much. Be generous with the different things God gave you, passing them around so all get in on it. So what miracle are you looking for? Where are you waiting to see God work? Consider this. God's supernatural involvement may have already occurred. Maybe God's work was to bless you with a very special and unique skill set. Maybe your hobby or your training is a miracle for somebody. Somebody's waiting for miracles. Yeah, I know you're thinking water into wine, parting the Red Sea, healing the blind, raising the dead. Instead of waiting to see a miracle, you should be a miracle for someone. You never know what somebody's miracle through you might be. You're out mowing your lawn and you realize your neighbor, who may be elderly or may have some challenges, can't mow theirs. So you take extra 30 minutes out of your life to mow their lawn. Help someone to their car with their groceries at the store. Cook a meal for a family who's dealing with a family member who's sick or hospitalized. Read a book to a 2nd grade class. I'm doing that tomorrow, and I'm as excited as all get out to do it. Give somebody a ride. Yeah. Teach a class. That's literally sharing your gift in something that you have with someone else. Text somebody. Call somebody. Say hello and you love them. Pray for a friend, or better yet, pray for an enemy. Love someone. Be selfless and be present for them, to just sit and listen if that's what they need, to encourage if that's what they need. Be radical in your generosity. Be radical in your hospitality. Speak up when you see justice gone wrong. Speak up when you see mistreatment. Be a miracle. Be a miracle. Be someone's miracle. Well, I got to tell you, I have enjoyed bringing you this message today, not only because it is a timely message, but it spoke to me. It really did. I'm going to share a little bit of my gift with you now in hopes that it may be somebody's miracle.
have me, I'm forever changed. I've abandoned everything I've ever known. I surrender, my life is not my own. I belong to you. I belong to you. I belong to you. I belong to you. I've been captured by a love I can't explain. Now you have me, Lord. I'm forever changed. I've abandoned everything I've ever known. Now I surrender. My life is not my own. I belong to you. I belong to you. I belong to you. I belong to you. My life is not my own. To you I belong. I give myself to you. My life is not my own. To you I belong. I give myself to you. I belong to you. I belong to you. I belong to you. I belong to
Well, thanks again for joining me for this episode of 2911, A Faith Experience. Don't forget that if you're on Facebook, like, share, follow. If you're on YouTube, subscribe so you can see new content all the time. And make sure you're here every Thursday, 12 noon Eastern, for a new episode. Love you guys. Love you so much. And just a reminder, again, I leave you with this every week. Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. So why don't you go out there in the world and make someone feel God's love today? Be a miracle. Be a miracle. Peace.